Slow things down, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Now you have the range advantage. You're not really as limited as you would be with a potential Mac 10. You're not forced to run in like an absolute madman. Well, take their time, they will. But it's going to be interesting to see what Team Liquid actually have planned. When we went through the videos on the couch, right, on the behind-the-scenes stream, we were kind of surprised to see Cash actually come through. It's been one of the very few maps where Faze
tried something. Elige, he commits to that spray. Brave, and he does pay somewhat of a price. Still challenges being given to him towards white box, but now the charge into CZ. That is almost curtains for this round. Just going to be looking for some constellation frags. But to come back to your point, I mean, it is a surprise. Faze plan notoriously intermittent.
Yeah, and I mean, they're completely fine with going in it. It's one of the maps where they've actually found wins. They had a bit of a stumble versus Complexity at the Major, but they rectified that by getting a win over Cloud9. And again, you know, given the recent form of Faze, you'd be happy to take them on other maps.
How many Team Liquid Cash games have we actually seen recently?
About one. About one in 2019, and that was at the IBAT Power Tournament versus Fnatic.
Right.
They did end up winning, so, you know, 100% win rate, can't argue with that. But again, it's not the one map that they bring to the front when, you know, they're challenging some of the best teams in the world.
You're vetoing against Faze. It's a best of one, and you choose to take it to a map that I suppose there's very little documented Team Liquid Cash. If you've been working on it behind the scenes, there's no worries that Yanko's going to be breaking down that demo.
That is very true. And so it's going to be interesting to see. Judging from off of the pistol round, they definitely have something in the works. They know how to coordinate themselves. And again, I think this has also been a bit of a sentiment that's been echoed from many people. It's the fact that Cash hasn't really changed too much in terms of meta, how it's played out. We can see Elige still fiery hot from yesterday. And I mean, because it hasn't really changed too much, you can leave. It's a map you can leave on the cooler, or I guess on the burners would be the right. That would be more correctly. It's something you can put to the side, but still come back to it after a bit of time and still be able to play.
I mean, if you want to roll back the years, Nitro was, I mean, some of his biggest breakout performances were on Cash. He was known as the Cash Beast. He used to just take the assault rifle and charge out middle, both CT and T, and very, very powerful on this map. But of course, that is really rolling back the years. I think we're talking 2-3 years now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Stewie's unfamiliar with the map either.
Yeah, I mean,
it's where the initial smoke criminal came to be, right?
It is, yeah, and of course we'll see more of that on that CT side, just worming through those smokes. But it does look like we're going to be having a little bit of a, I was going to say full eco. There is a Desert Eagle on 2. And we do see, I think it's what, 2 flashes and a smoke, some care for those deagles as well. So it's not an investment too much, it's just looking to try and take some of those AKs away, keep Liquid responsible.
Actually a little bit, yeah, intrigued to not see them stack up. We've seen a lot of teams going for this kind of a highway stack or pop flash into mid the second you get contact. The second somebody from the T side actually commits in from mid and you get an easy kill, work off of that. But no, rather spread out. Seems like they have set up, it's a bit of a stack and actually pushing in toward the door here.
So some degree of a stack, at least holding hands and staying as a unit on that site defense towards A. Nitro is starting to cast his eyes towards that direction, but Elige, you can see this lot of mid-control given for free. Oof, fight's kind of given to him. He has to be precise. Already brought down half health. Another couple of deagle bullets would secure it, but he has the backup. Naf arrives with the Galil and starts to fill the kill feed. Taking names, Adrian takes ahead. Elige gone, but traded. And that will just be then Guardian left on the wrong side of the map. And I say wrong side, the bomb still not committed.
Yeah, he was on the right side, rotated away from it. Seems like Naf actually might be open to a bit of a nasty surprise. But again, though, Liquid doing a good job of making sure that they have each other's backs. That was a really key thing on Overpass as well. We talked about how Nitro would play really aggressive for someone who isn't necessarily I guess a main offer in the true sense, but he would always have either Naf or Elige, especially Elige, just hanging about right around the corner in case something were to happen, and that just kept wrecking NIP over and over again.
Naf is one of my favorite players to watch. He has flair.
Oh, he's just so good.
He's so calm, collected. Yes, of course, I think we've seen him smile about 3 times ever since he was on our screens.
It's almost like he was Finnish. Maybe it's part Finnish?
Maybe, but he has this very clear, clinical approach to the game. It's very well thought out, and it's got flair to it as well. Quite a rare combination.
Now that finally we're going to see Faze with some rifles in hand. They have been smoked out of mid though, so I'm in control once again, even though with the failed Molotov is going to be able to net Liquid some much needed ground. Rain actually the only one peering out. So obviously going to see all the nades being utilized by Liquid, so that's a bit of a tell that they have committed some players to either boost or the corner actually backs out just in the wrong time as well.
Twist is going to start his walk. trying to get under the skin of the CTs. Andrew in a passive hold towards vents on mid. Twist is conscious of it.
That's very important as well, because they did use 2 Molotovs to clear out that space, but they have to realize that obviously Faze do have the opportunity to boost back into it. For now, though, just very passive. So they want to have more people.
Interesting hold. Adrian solo. He is holding B from vents. If anyone from Liquid was to find him, and actually look at Nico starting some aggression on A. He was supported as well. Now we see Adrian emerge. Now B side vulnerable. Rain has to do a whole lot on mid. The molly's going to force him to either make some noise and go wide. He does exactly that. He catches one, trying to transfer the spray, and he does. Smooth moves from the Norwegians. And now Nitro, he's in A main. He was counting on his teammates' moves to succeed, and he's eliminated by Guardian. We have ourselves FaZe Clan's first round.
Yeah, very well done. Again, Nico's aggression setting things off there. Finding the perfect timing on one of the Liquid players just having deployed a bunch of utility towards that A bomb site. And I mean, it's a really dangerous position to be in as well, because when you lose mid control, there's so much things that can can happen from the side of Team Liquid, right? If Twist is not necessarily a part of an A push, he can be part to pick off a rotation through connector. Again, if they set up for a B push, it's just like in such an open position there, you can do a lot of damage to FaZe.
Enter into round 5.
Still enough money on the side of Liquid to get a nice purchase in.
Olaf on the org.
Yeah, that's not something you've seen too much of.
No, not at all. I mean,
it's just FaZe in general,
for
really.
FaZe in general, yeah. I think Olaf was one of the few to kind of flirt with the idea, but
Yeah.
I know Rain and Nico were particularly adamant, especially when the price was reduced. Just didn't want to conform to this new meta.
Yeah, every time I've spoken to Rain about the new weapons, he's like, please get me out. Like,
Get me out of this.
And get out he does. Leash topples him in mid once more. Leash been doing a great job of actually just getting into mid here.
I mean, this is clearly like one player from Liquid is almost always applying pressure highway, and that forces the A defenders into a bit of an awkward stance. You can see it's Nico holding main.
That's a very vulnerable position.
I mean, it's an all or nothing, right?
Especially now with the rotation coming off. Olafmeister,
Oh, he's going to get pincered in. Where's his support? They've started to rotate B. Olaf's not there. Rain gone early. Nico, you've got to be a hero. He hasn't got any chance to hold all those angles at the same time. Certainly not from that position. And now Stewie, he's clearing it out. He's making the call. That site's clear. And that bomb down. 3 members of FaZe Clan. They're on the other side of the map. They'll likely look to keep hold of this weaponry.
That was a wild just chance stack from FaZe Clan. Didn't really have any information to go off of. Still stacking 3 players towards that B bomb site.
I guess Nico was looking main and said main's clear, right?
Yeah.
But
you have no control over mid, right?
Squeaky and middle was completely coated in Team Liquid.
I mean, and this is going to be interesting to see whether FaZe adapts to it or not. So far, we've seen Rain being the sole defender of mid. It worked out once. You got a double kill, but the other rounds, it's been pretty free.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Yeah, Adrian might be able to... Oh, well. Nobody from Liquid is actually going to push forward.
They were considering it.
Nah, not with the hunt. Again, like these kind of scenarios are going to be, learning experience for both teams and us. Watching whether or not teams are going to value, keeping the economy low on a team that's constantly losing, or if they're thinking so much about the fact that they could get reset as the winning team, so they don't want to give away weapons necessarily.
Absolutely. And you were not wrong. I mean, Elish and Twist have just taken it in turns to control middle, and he is really keeping his hands warm.
Yeah, it's just
take note, guys. Blow on your hands after every successful round.
I think it might actually be to just cool down, because he's been...
Oh, because he's
been
on
lights
fire?
out. Yeah, exactly. Like, he's been so good. He doesn't even have an AUG yet. Like, still doing damage.
Do they continue to rinse and repeat? That's the question. So Naf often throws some bullets early. Oh, here we go. This is something different. FaZe mixing it up with a boost over the smoke on connector, but I don't think they can get angles towards those trash bags. There's 2 there, and actually Guardian, he has an opportunity. Not quite going to get it. Doesn't manage to convert, but Olaf does. That AUG pays off, and now we can back up and use that numbers advantage. It's actually quite the rarity so far here into round 6. FaZe having the numbers early. It's not too much of a common occurrence.
Yeah, and actually putting a bit of a fear into Team Liquid as well. Now you're not getting mid for free.
Yeah,
there's more than just Rain out there now. And I think that's the right adjustment from FaZe Clan as well. You can see they've kind of just left the idea of having anyone else going into mid for the time being. Only Nitro with 28 HP left to his own devices. So this is more or less going to come down to picks. Naf's probably going to set up for a smoke for Stewie, see if he can actually find something to work with on that A bomb site.
Given the responsibility of mid, trying to hold A, and it's actually going to be Nico to catch Nitro on the aggress. Stewie in the meantime catches Guardian. That's going to be 1 man down on A in a second as Twist shows up. That's the site gone. Olaf, he did fantastic work to start this round, but we'll see if he can finish it. 3 versus 3, they have the numbers. Adrian and Rain, they are the B brigade now. forced into a retake. There is going to be a kit present on Adren. Olof's gone though. Twisty's found his second in the round. Now the smoke starts to clear. Adren, you have to do big things here. Molotov's going to force him into the fight, and Stewie has his scope set exactly where it needs to be. Rain forced to recede. He's out of it. And that's going to be another for Liquid. 5 now for Team Liquid.
It's a bad round to lose for Faze Clan.
That looked good.
Yeah, it looked really good at the start. Again, you're fighting off Liquid from mid. They're forced into a really awkward situation. Stewie does get, have fortune on his side. He finds Guardian through the door. Yeah. From Squeaky there. That obviously helps. But I think Nico's positioning there, it seems like he was expecting his smoke to be down for Highway to actually cover for the entirety of it. And from what I could gather, it was a pretty significant gap on Highway, like under the ladder portion.
They tried to throw a molly, right? That was like almost trying to fill the gap of that smoke that was.
And Nico ends up standing in the open. Obviously, like if he doesn't have any pressure from Highway, then yeah, he's more than in a good position to actually deal with the 2 players coming in from Squeaky. But that not being the case, everything just unravels so quickly.
Wow, look at that. 4 M4s and just a singular AK. No AUG, no FAMAS, no AWP. But a creep. From Liege, and a tag actually. Not far off. A little bit of health lost, but nothing to write home about. Now Ray. He's managed to get some good control.
He's got adrenaline with him as well. Defense. And again, I think it's important for Faze to continue with this on. They have to realize what happened in the previous round is not necessarily the wrong approach to it. Focusing on mid, actually putting it to Liquid to try something else is really important for them to have any sort of control and idea of what's going on the T side.
Look at this though, it's quite rare you see Team Liquid so grouped up. No control towards B, no control towards middle. They are counting on Faze being fearful, tentative.
Yeah. And I mean, so far, it's kind of true. Guardian's playing from headshot position. He's not going to find any information until they're on the bomb site.
Ooh. Hanged up Stewie, trying to draw attention towards Squeaky. The spray once again through the door. Previously took Guardian's life, this time not to B. He's learned from his mistakes, and they start their charge. Looks like Faze are ready to receive them. Nico, Olof, Rain in middle. It's going to be Adren on Highway. Here goes Nico. Pressured now, Flash will clear in time. He's looking for Twist. He's so quick. Takes him down. Now Olof has to step up to the plate. Just one. Traded by Elysia. Now Adren. Same spot, same result. Nitro this time finds the frag, and now 2. Rain and Guardian. It's so difficult. They're just locking it down. The same site, the same result. Team Liquid finds 6 on the A side.
This time they do it without having mid control as well. Just your cookie cutter A execute works swimmingly. I think obviously a part of that is Nico being boosted up, then falling off due to being inside the smoke. It's hard for him to navigate. I think if he's able to stay on top of this red box, perhaps jump up on it, might be able to get the drop on a couple of Liquid players, and that changes pretty much the way of the round there. But with him missing out on this first shot, Twist being too quick with the AK. So everything out of control. It's a bit of an avalanche, really, and Team Liquid, I mean, they're not officially on fire yet, but they're not far off.
I mean, 1 round, I believe.
Yeah.
There you go. This was Twist's reaction. That was so quick, and Liege not far off as well. I mean, they've got the players in the right place. It's not like Faze are being out-stratted here or making poor rotations. We've seen a couple of them. Yeah, they're there, ready to receive, but Liquid, a combination of insane aim and a couple of supportive flashbangs is getting them across the line at this point.
Yeah, doing such a good job of just having each other's back. Any given time, you haven't seen really, outside of, I think, the 1 round where they find an opening in mid, Liquid actually giving up a player for free. It's always traded.
But that was what was interesting about the round prior, is that they didn't invest anything into holding middle. By pushing it in the pistol, by having 3 players, 1 over boost, pushing it throughout the initial stages of the game, they didn't have to invest any resources, and FaZe respected their middle, respected their B. They weren't even looking towards Sunroom. They weren't even considering that an avenue to flank because of Liquid's previous moves and grooves.
And that's when you know, like, if you're on Team Liquid, you recognize that, and you feel so good about yourself.
Right, you've achieved something.
That just makes your game plan just 10 times easier. You have so much more freedom to work with you.
And now something a bit more aggressive. Look at this from Elise. She's already cleared out. Look towards struck point brazenly. A flash does come in. They know there's one site. Presence once again from Stewie. Rinse, repeat. He's always Squeak.
Nika's going to have a hard time. I'm not sure spotted him actually jumping back there.
They've got 3 CTs with these pistols on Highway. Should Liquid have committed to that? That could have gone badly, but instead they back up. Stewie, he's just drawing attention, pushed! Great work from Nico, got himself a weapon.
How does he land a headshot there?
I mean, that's what's so ridiculous. His mouse mat currently, he's got friction burns on his wrist, but he did manage to get the frag.
Oh man, that was nuts.
And now Nico has an AK. That's
actually
That's
sends
scary.
Liquid away as well.
Uh-oh, he's not going to expect 3 here, but that is spicy.
So dirty.
So restrained. Let's not forget, 100% first bullet accuracy, and Elige demonstrates just how spicy that can look. Rain, Adren gone. Now Guardian forced to defend B. They are on their way. And gone already. Nitro is clearing all the corners. Nico, that AK, he scouts away from Stewie, does absolutely nothing. Naf does everything. Elige got 3 in that round, and we have 7 now for Team Liquid here on Cash.
Man alive.
This is the T side. I mean, we were talking about it before then,
Yeah.
before the camera and the microphones were rolling. It was that Faze's CT side is their win condition. Their T side, it's been spotty, it's been chaotic. Look at that. Whew.
That is ridiculous.
This is Sparta.
Very much so. And I mean, well, Faze are about to get kicked into a bit of a pit. Yeah, no.
Yep.
It seems that way because Team Liquid are just not easy to stop whatsoever.
And now a completely different look.
And I think it's needed. But still, the Liquid are expecting at this stage.
Guardian's going to be furious. He has not gone for aggressive B peak in 8 rounds.
Yeah.
He goes for it this time, and now Nitro is there.
With the face toasted. It's a rough going just from start to finish from Faze right now. You need to like deal that damage.
Oh, that's so horrible. They're being executed. Twister's got another towards heaven. It is angelic. My goodness, another round 1, another site taken. But you just watched Guardian for the first time try and take B. Get AWPs by Nitro. Then Adren forced to hold the site. He's Molotov'd out. As he moves into the open, he's flashed and executed with a smoke push from Twist. It's just...
It's like, it looks silly because it's more or less a one-man execute happening from Liquid up to the B bomb side.
With some support, but
exactly.
yes.
But that's the key, right? Like, I think if Twist goes down, Liquid are perfectly fine to just back off, go back to mid, you know, like venture towards A. They have plenty of time. They have so many options, right? But you know, you have the benefit of having Twist on your team.
So that's almost like it's a calculated gamble. It's like, have a go. If it works, we won the round. If it's not, we've still got fallback options.
Exactly. And I mean, we talk about it all the time. It goes for pretty much any map in CSGO. The fact that playing an even number, you know, if you're playing a 4v4, 3v3, 2v2, that usually favors the attacking side.
Right. No, absolutely. And I mean, I think if you combine Elige and Stewie right now, they've got more frags than the entirety of FaZe Clan. These two are looking
Why does
so
that
good.
sound familiar?
It does, doesn't it? And look at the Skrilla as well. 11k for Elige. That is post-buy. I say post-buy. I think he just still carried that one over. So far, not too much damage done by the FaZe boys. You can see a kill distribution of between 1 and 4.
And that's really the big issue, right? The fact that one of the things that this update was meant to do is, all right, so you have a team just rolling down, you know, rolling over their opponents. Oh, yeah.
Again, it was like 170 on Overpass yesterday. And now he's started just 10 rounds in, 126.
Really enjoying his time in Sao Paulo, that's for sure.
He
said yesterday that, you know, the secret to his performance yesterday was the fact that Twist gave him some of his gum.
That's
so
the
I guess
secret.
this might just be like a thing they keep doing now for every event.
So I give it about 6 months before Team Liquid get them a gum sponsorship.
If I'm Twist though, at this point I'm just sharing my gun with all of my teammates.
Oh yeah, something special in that one. At the moment, it's going to be just the Desert Eagles. We saw what Nico could do with it prior, and a couple of CZs, as you can see. Rain and Adren, they might go for the counter boost here.
They're trying something, but look at the setup.
The timing for once. Timing favors FaZe. Nitro falls off of the angle. And now biding his time. He hears the scope, but Elige is there as well. But Molotov, that's not going to force him as they come to Rain. Close quarters is exactly what he was looking for. Surely Nitro goes down. He does. He knows there's a second there. Nitro doesn't get there on his own.
Yeah. Actually, really nice to not dive in on it either. Because that's very easy to do. You get the first one, you think like, oh, I could get the guy boosted as well. Ooh, but this is just something they might not expect.
And he's got another with a scavenged AK. Rain's having a round. Exceptional. 3 frags, 60 seconds still on the clock, and Liquid, they're having a third attempt, and Twists.
Finally.
He's cleared mid. He's almost just said, right, hang on a second, let me clear mid. Done.
Here you
2
go.
down, AK gone, and now the round looks awkward.
But look at the damage, though. And again, map control. Finally, for once, like FaZe can actually push the extremities of the map and not feel terrified.
So Guardian Sunroom, Olof pushed up in A main.
Yeah, Nico just kind of being the 2 eyes in mid, not really committing to anything like super heavily.
He has to get one here. Oh, and he does. He can't double up, though. Twist, he's having a fantastic performance here in round 10.
He's going to have to ace this to keep Liquid on track.
An ace clutch. 20 seconds, does have the bomb. Chooses to commit to it.
Nico has picked up an AK. He doesn't have armor, though, and he was the one player on the side of FaZe who didn't purchase any sort of Kevlar.
No kit. They have to get a bit of a wiggle on. Both moving with main. It makes sense, especially given the absence of Kevlar, but Twist, this is so smart.
I was about to say, though, that like the plan is not for him. He needs to charge into the site.
I mean, he's expecting the clock to be his best friend here, right? They're going to be clearing everything. Nico, Guardian, they're on the side. He starts to take the fight. Nico gone. Knows there's a second there, and he's got a molly. There's the answer to your question. Ven doesn't even need it. An ace clutch. Twists finds the 9th for Team Liquid and makes it look oh so easy. They lost 3 right out of the gate. Rain with some heroics, and Twists, he just giggles as he secures the 9th.
He's like, finally it's my turn. Well, obviously, overpass yesterday. It's Liege running the show. Twist kind of having a bit of a sitter. He just didn't really...
43 points of health. Like this, that's not easy.
He pretty much wasn't touched, actually. From that 5v3 situation, nobody could actually touch him. Because that's one Deagle bullet from a decent distance. And he's gone.
Having another go. Now this
if it worked once, right? Try again.
Oh, this is a real battle for Boost. So many players here, and Rain's done it again. Not going to be greedy, just as Halvor observed previously. He chooses to back away. Resmokes middle, has support. Nico's there on white box. We're going to be seeing them back away now. Adrian's found Nitro in the meantime. This is fantastic for Faze Bandits. Rinse repeat this time, though, with weapons. They get the early frags, they contest mid, and now we have a 3 versus 5.
How much of a gamble isn't that from Faze? They left 0 people on the B pump side for that entirety.
I mean, how often have they pushed it?
I guess they did it once with Twist, kinda. Outside of that, yeah. It's a calculation from Faze, but when you're down 1 and 9, the fact that you actually feel that you can take that kind of a risk is, I guess, both needed and also very, very cool to see. So now, though, I mean, they managed to salvage a 3v5 in the previous round. That was against a semi-buy from the side of Faze. This time it's a very different story. A lot more utility and weapons on the side of Faze.
Worth noting, Nico on that AWP as well. Guardian instead.
Cold.
Back of Connector. They're playing this passive. Nico. He's going to be smoked off. He's going to be flashed off. They know where he is. It's going to be down to the support of Olofmeister as they do start to converge on him. Stewie from behind enemy lines. He strikes. Guardian gone. Twists. Finds Olof as well. And now Nico has to be the hero. It was 5v3. Suddenly it's level. 15 seconds though. That clock is not Liquid's friend.
Really isn't.
Stay alive. Stewie's found it. Adra and Rain, they're both low from the early exchanges in mid. Bomb goes down in time, and this has just dissolved in front of Faze.
Again.
Stewie was a huge spanner in the works. Guardian's gone, but finally Adrian does get that delayed trade. He's down to 12 HP. This is just unrealistic. He's going to go down. Liquid 5-10. This shouldn't be
a thing. And we're not seeing timeouts.
I mean, perhaps, you know, yeah, get Yanko on the microphone, talk this one through. 10 rounds on the side you need to succeed on and thrive on. Unless they've completely revolutionized their T side on cash, Liquid are single-handedly winning this game in 1/2.
Yeah, they really are. And again, you said it. This is the half where Faze are meant to kind of make their mark.
Right.
Just from the recent games that they've had on cash, they've been so much stronger on their CT side, which is not common for cash. But then again, Faze are not really a common Counter-Strike team in that sense. But right now, they're just getting dominated. Twists. I mean, he didn't have much to do. It wasn't necessary for him to get called upon on Overpass. But today, he's really making up for it. 13-2. So he's basically just not dying.
13-2. I mean, imagine, let's look at his cash. Yeah, close to max cash at this point. He's probably just buying for his teammates so he doesn't break that 16K.
Yeah, and that's a problem as well, because with the update, it's meant to punish the winners in that sense, or if it's intended, if it's an unintended result of it. In any case, it does punish the winners of multiple rounds in this kind of a scenario. But because Liquid have been so clean about how they've gone about it for 90% of the time, they're not going to be faced by this. If they go back to 1400, who cares? They've got money for the rest of the game.
They really do. Or certainly the rest of the half. Yeah, take a look at that ADR. 3 of them now breaking that 100 mark. I mean, that's just testament to how much domination we are seeing.
It really doesn't feel fair, does it?
I mean, last time we took stock, about 6 rounds ago, we said between 1 and 4, right, was the kill spread.
Yeah.
It's now 3 and 7. I mean, but from lowest to highest. Faze just haven't been fragging. Rain had his heroics.
He had that one round.
Yeah, he single-handedly
still didn't win
gave them a chance. Of course not. No. You got 3 frags early, 2v4.
Pick up a gun.
And now Nitro's going for that aggressive B peak. He punished Guardian the last time he took this angle, and Guardian
learned.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Doesn't really have that big green rifle.
Caught on the cross, that would have been... That's when the desk meets the fist.
Yeah.
Not to be today. Molotov to clear out the corners. Liquid, they're just being very procedural with this take. Bomb way back at mid. They aren't committing to any of these sites. They just want to keep those CTs on their toes and take stock. Where are those pistols? Where is Nico's deagle? Always a good question. The answer, A main.
Usually you find that out a little bit too late.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a lot of chances for you to get that kind of information. But
you'll never guess where Stewie is.
I wouldn't have guessed it in 100 years.
Once again, Molotov's going to force one out. It is Nico.
He heard that.
He backs away towards the site. Yeah, he's conscious. He's expecting a second.
Really being...
He's given so much freedom on this Liquid roster.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's how he thrives as well. I mean, it's changed up a couple of positions that Twist needs to play, especially on the CT side, and a little bit of how his role inside Liquid works. But again, like having basically a wild card in Stewie is just terrifying to play against. It's annoying.
Oh, absolutely. Now they start to converge. 30 seconds. They're starting to make the hit towards B. Who to be tested? Guardian, Adren, Rain. They're all charging towards the site. Guardian's the first one there. He's only got a CZ. Fortunately for him, it will be close angles, but it's not going to be an easy fight. Force and caught with the bomb in his hands. Now needs a fresh mag. Switches to the AK and has to hit the spray and twists. He does it, and he does it every single time. Numbers favoring Liquid. Speaking of numbers, just 10 seconds. He has to get those digits punched in, and he will do so. Can't be contested. Nico from heaven. Nitro catches on the flank. The shot is over. Nico's low, trying to connect the shot. Goes so on to Naf, not able to adjust the twists in time. 2 for him in the round, and 11 in this game for Liquid on the first half.
The kind of sad part for Faze is that that's one of the better rounds they've had.
Yeah.
In terms of actually downing Liquid members.
We've casted 2 Liquid games right now, and all we've done is cast Liquid destroying.
Yeah.
It was an NIP first on the chopping block, and now we see Faze Clan. These are not small teams. These are not new to up-and-coming rosters. These are star-studded legacy Counter-Strike organizations, and they're being dismantled here in Sao Paulo by Team Liquid. A team that had the fire lit beneath them after not meeting expectations at Katowice Major.
Oh, certainly trying to rectify that. As it pushes to A main. Nitro actually finds Olaf even...
With Nico holding it.
Yeah.
Doors open. That's going to be Elige punished for that one. Fired off a couple of warning shots, and now Nico.
Do you go for this?
He doesn't go for it. He's trying to force them out, and he does work just like that.
The worrying part here, though, is that Ifman have been, or Team Liquid have been doing such a good job of finding solo duels like that one, where there's no trade option for Faze, and they've, well, for the better part of the game, won out those duels, and that's really how they've brought it back from man deficits. Oh, yeah.
Twist has enough of a gap to stop him from leaving that corner.
Is he going to hold the angle though for long enough?
It's an AUG. He's only got 19 points of health. A single bullet from that AK, or a P250 even, as Nitro postures towards vents. Oh, he's still there. Yeah, eliminated. Nice work with the sidearm of Nitro, but the round absolutely not over for FaZe Clan. They've got the advantage, very comfortably so. Guardian has his favorite weapon, his favorite sight. Now getting closer. This is where problems start to arise. Guardian is being pushed from the left side. Nitro's P250 finds a second, and now things starting to spiral. He's already found 3. This would be another ace clutch. Twist done it once. 30 seconds, and he has a good idea. On heaven, he's glancing towards main. Oh, timing's not on his side.
I was about to say, if he kept going forward, he just would have dodged Nico as well. And Nico obviously wouldn't have any idea. Same thing with Rain. They probably think he's cooped up on site. That could have ended horribly wrong for FaZe again. With another man advantage just going to waste. But finally they get around, and this is the point where you would like to say, like, oh yeah, now they've, you know, put Liquid on the back foot with their money, but no. That really isn't the case. A full buy coming in. No ops, though, on the side of Liquid, even though they could afford it.
Ooh, the double AWP.
Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's FaZe Clan chipping that out.
Guardian and Nico rocking that one. Even a fan match for Adren. He hasn't had too many M4s, Orbs, and the likes. And Nico, he thought about it. He flirted with the idea yesterday. Plays anti-flash. There's so many. This is just not an AWPing position. He's going to find the first. Can he really get out of this one? He's going for the fight. He catches Elige through the smoke. He's being the hero they need. One towards Squeak. You'll never guess. Stewie 2K.
He knows
one of these days, before this man's career is over, there will be a Stewie 2K spray on Squeak. You heard it here first. He's there so often, it just has to happen. Something crazy will happen at some point at a major tournament, and this one, a huge debut.
Look at the way Nico plays his crosshair as well. He's expecting somebody to jump up instead of actually peeking the short angle.
Oh, that is a firm understanding of how Stewie's playing this spot.
See, though, Liquid, you've been in this situation so many times already. Been so successful at getting back into it, but question is now boosting up on site. Like, this is a phase that are in positions to actually trade for each other.
Yeah, I mean, trade for each other or just get collateral. They are lining up. Now the aggression coming in. It's Stewie2K. They knew he was there, but it doesn't matter. A double from Stewie2K lives up to that name. Well, that suffix. So now going through the smoke. This could be good. It is. Rain secures it for FaZe Clan. Wow, they stabilize and they needed to. 11 now to 3. This is the first half, last round of it. And the defensive side for FaZe Clan has been flat.
Yeah, and I mean, you see how it comes to, I guess not comes to life, but why it's so flat. In these kind of instances, you know, Stewie's allowed to actually get onto the bomb site, swing out to find 2 people while Rain is tucked away in quad. I mean, if that's miscommunication, if they, I refuse to believe that they actually
said smoke. I mean, let it be known the criminal was up to his usual antics.
I mean, they knew Stewie was in Squeaky. There's smoke down.
Yeah, he throws it every round as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you just get used to it being there, and then eventually he's gonna
it's like part of the inventory. But no, really, like if that's there's no way FaZe set up that it's like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna give our lives up, Brain, so you can find like 3 people.
Guardian's about to be destined. If he doesn't fall back soon, he could be victim to a flash and a push. Does manage to back away in time.
Oh,
and there's the push. Oh dear, smokes himself off. He's gonna try and find an angle over it. This is gorgeous from Guardian. Gets one, there's 2 more hunting him down. He's caught before he even gets a glimpse of Elige. Now Nico, that second AWP. What can you do? There's already one on site, and they're hitting bullets. Nico down to half. He's going to be mollied, naded off. Whatever they have, they'll be throwing it at him. But the bomb goes in, and there's 3 members of FaZe Clan here.
I mollied the site at least, so Liquid has to spread out. They haven't really gotten out of that corner, which is awkward for them. Elige is pretty far away.
And that's quick, that's traded. They have to find more. Naps there as well. It's going back and forth now, all on one man. Elige. Bomb about halfway gone, and Nico again. That's 2 rounds back to back with the AWP, where he has brought FaZe success. They needed that. They end 4 rounds on their CT side of Cash.
They needed that so badly as well. It's still not a pretty sight, but it could have been so much worse.
I mean, thank God Nico woke up. At least you've got a shot. You have to win that pistol. You have to have some serious understanding of how this T side's going to go, because you're against Team Liquid. Their crossfires were filthy on Overpass CT side.
I have no doubt it's going to be the similar case here on Cash. And I mean, I guess any worries that we had about Team Liquid not having played Cash too much to start us off,
yeah,
not founded.
I'm not worried. I guess another map for Liquid's map pool. We discussed it before. If you want to beat Astralis, you have to be good at all 7.
Yeah.
Admittedly, they're perma-ban Cash.
At least it puts the fear into other teams. And I mean, makes them capable of toppling.
Now this I'm intrigued about. How many have they boosted up? 2?
2, yeah.
So delayed mid-take, perhaps? Flirting with Guardian on Sunroom, don't forget that.
Could be similar to what Liquid were doing, obviously, but with smokes, though. Oh,
there's no way this isn't held.
While,
there's 2 of them.
While he's holding
he's got a nade. Oh, this could just go crumbling down. They don't hit the shots cleanly, but Twist does. And now the trades come in. Thank God for Rain.
Oh, but the damage, though.
That's gone so wrong.
Twist was so quick to find 2 people on that boost.
I can't quite comprehend it.
I don't get how he found the angle to find 2 there so quickly.
They didn't all drop at the same time. I mean, we'll probably see the replay. First, we have to find out how this round does conclude. Nitro, he's got his nose pressed against his screen. It's a hard shot to hit, certainly with the USP, but he has a shot at it. FaZe have other plans. Yeah, starting to play with the idea of a mid to B, and that's exactly what it will be.
Luckily for them, the bomb wasn't drop bomb boost, because that would have been a nightmare.
Those can be the most awkward of rounds in Counter-Strike history. Now flashed off. He makes his presence known as well with a bit of a warning shot, and that gives FaZe info, valuable information. As the bomb starts to go down, Flash isn't going to connect. Guardian, though, you have to find the shots. Rain does it for him. This would have to be an incredible round. Ace clutch to keep FaZe in the running. And already, Nitro, he's making things awkward. Down to 20 points of health. He has to find precision now. And it's nothing but doom and gloom. 12 now for Liquid as they pick up the pistol.
And it's all smiles on Liquid. Nitro pretty happy about things are going, how his team is playing. Understandably so as well. Just like everything that could go wrong for FaZe right now is going wrong. The aggressive, the double aggressive push as well. Like one thing if it's just Elige pushing up.
It's traded.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you find the guy setting up the smokes, and yeah, it's a deficit for FaZe in terms of just, you lose, you know, 1 smoke, 1 flash. Maybe that's an integral part of your strategy gone to waste.
Sure.
But at least you get to play a 4v4 as a T side.
Yeah, and what I'm really kind of, I'm just baffled by is that, you know, Faze were trying something quite, you know,
more elaborate than
box,
what,
more elaborate than what Faze usually do, which is they say a letter A or B and then just frag
smash.
out. Yeah,
it's like Faze smash.
But Hulk impressions aside, this was just. It's a solid read. It's a solid gamble from Team Liquid, and I'm seeing something exciting here.
Speaking of experimentation,
I mean, 12-4 down, you got to try it.
Yeah.
Nades as well, lots of them.
Rain did pick up a lot of kills in that pistol round, so he's got quite a bit to work with. So he's going to go with the hero AK here. He's got one smoke to boot as well. And the rest of the team pretty much just setting up with utility here.
Testament to Rain's performance. He is leading the server in ADR. Yeah. In the face of a 12-round to 4 deficit.
That is pretty nuts.
That is impressive. And so they start their charge. Keep your eyes on Rain, but also keep your eyes on Team Liquid. They're charging in towards a main at the moment. They've gone back and forth, and Guardian, he's not done yet. CZ has to go opt for a fresh clip. And Adrian has done exactly that. Now a Scavenger Famas, things are starting to spiral for Team Liquid. And Faze, they're looking good now. Have to find more than one. That's a good start. And already bullets connecting onto Elige towards Squeaky. That's not what you want to see. It's not even actually Elige, excuse me. Elige towards Quad. It was now finding Adrian.
This is like a super early committal from Nico, but it forced a rotation, and Olaf Meister's already up on that bomb site.
Oh, Stewie,
he's out. He's going through it. It's too late to find Guardian, but Adren, there's no way he's expecting this.
There's no way you could even contest.
But Olaf Meister, he's got a similar plan here. Very unlikely that anyone from Liquid would expect him to be in this situation. Now Guardian just needs to deal with Elige.
Does Olaf have the cojones to try and take that fight? He chooses to back away from the site. There was more there. In fact, all 3 of them charging. You can hear the steps. He knows it's coming. Nade starting to rattle in as well. Oh, that's quick. Elige gone now, 2v2. Numbers favor them. The weapons don't, but Guardian, he uses the FAMAS fantastically. Now from the 1v2. Guardian's low. It should be doable, but time not on his side. They're playing it perfectly. Look at this. They're dancing with him. And dance for the FaZe fans too, as they show that they can put up a fight. 5 now.
So the 2 AKs that were bought up by FaZe did absolutely nothing, but luckily we see a scenario where they're able to trade. I mean, as soon as Rain goes down, Guardian finds,
Look at this, he's so willing to push. He was just constantly applying pressure. Forced Nitro to overexpose to Adren on Squeak. It was lovely.
It was really, really well done. And kind of like the blessing in disguise is the fact that, yes, you can always retrieve those weapons that got dropped by Rain early on, for example, but you can, retain all the nades that, a player would have had, but Rain was luckily the only one with, just one smoke grenade, and that was it.
Heavy lean to mid from the CTs this round. Twist does have his Desert Eagle, and the door swings it open. Rinse and repeat, this time not Stewie. Adren given that responsibility for FaZe Clan.
We saw FaZe fall to a 4-spy yesterday versus NIP. Scouts are out once again. One of them is down though.
Oh, they're starting to do this beautifully. They're Molotov out now. Nitro managed to push through the fire and flame. Really paid a small price for it. Twist is quick. Nyko finds 3. What? Changes his name, but doesn't change the game. Fantastic connection. Same from Stewie. Takes the knees off 1.
Can you find the second kneecap though? That's the question. For now though, he's gonna let his victim live, and Olaf Meister's on a bit of a scurry as well. He's out for treasure hunting.
2 rounds in a row, he's just left to his own devices and actually likely to catch Stewie here.
Oh, is Stewie going to go up on higher, though?
Surely
Olaf Meister checks this position, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Took him a little bit of time, but got there in the end.
Can we just talk about how my brain read Nico as Nyko for a second there?
I want to say, is it because of... Because I was on board with it for a
You were
moment.
embracing the Nyko.
Yeah, I was like, Nyko. I was just like,
look at this.
But what other word is it? Nikon?
I have no idea where my brain went.
Is that what it is?
But yeah.
Yeah, even Lee's just confused to the pronunciation of Nico.
You mean Eliga?
Oh god, that was... I cannot get on board with that one.
So 6-12, and it is going to be the full eco for the CTs. Now I would assume that FaZe are going to be playing this one with a little more restraint. They want to catch any sort of CT stack. Speaking of stack, look at that.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, and what I expected to see from FaZe. Obviously, when they bought up and had a couple of nades. No nades on the side of Liquid, though. So normally you'd have a flash that pops into mid. You run off of that, 4 players just overman whoever's in there.
Yeah.
This time, though, it's going to be a very tight-knit push from the side of FaZe Clan. They're actually not sending Adren on the Mac 10 first into any towards the bomb site to check for a stack. That's pretty common I guess, way of going about it.
I like this position from Adrian, though. They've got B site for free, and now he can just make so much money. Check this one out. They're all low, no armor. The Mac-10 thrives in this scenario. He pockets himself 3.
That's a nice little boost for him. And also gives us the position of at least one of the 2 remaining players on the side of Liquid.
$600 a kill. Money, everything, especially given the new system. Keep your eyes on FaZe Clan.
Is that going to be... Yeah, that could very well be the op for Guardian. So Adren drops an op, Guardian drops off the AK. That's why they're not opting to hunt, for example.
$1,800, less than 3 seconds. And that's all off just cleaning things up. Nice.
Actually getting frags with Moss, that's always impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly in CSGO, that's for sure. A weapon that's...
not given as much love as all the others.
I think it might be the most unloved weapon in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I think people would be more proud of you with a dual Beretta.
Oh, God. Really stretching it here, but yeah.
Perhaps. Has seen more play as of late, actually. More teams giving it the time of day, and some using it incredibly effectively. Twist's one of them.
Does help, just having a godlike game.
M4A1 in this server on either CT side. Let's not forget it did receive quite a hefty buff.
I still think it's a bit of a niche weapon in the sense that the ones who, I guess, kept using it throughout all the buffs.
Starting the charge towards Midland. Look at them drop. Nitro and Elige, this dastardly duo, and they're pushing. Nitro's got another. This heavy mid-lean from FaZe has just been shrugged off by 2 members of Team Liquid.
It just seems like such a halfway mid-lean from FaZe as well, because when do you ever take mid-control without Molotoving out
Sandbags?
Sandbags, yeah, exactly. That feels like such a ABC of how to take mid that you'd expect FaZe to do it every single time. Even if they're not committing to it,
Flash
just
over
do
boost,
it for the sake
Molly
of doing
Sandbags, go one. Doesn't need to. Guardian walks straight into his crosshair from vents, and now Adren forced into a very uncomfortable 1 versus 4. Sure, there's time. Yes, there's nades, and he does have the bomb.
He's going to hear Elige at least, but oh yeah, expecting Elige to actually make a rotation. But there's no reason for Liquid to really move here. Stewie though has other ideas. But it's gonna be Elige to find Adren eventually. That's a clean round from Liquid. That puts them on 13 as well. There's another buy in store for FaZe Clan, but oof, that was a rough one. That's just like fundamental Counter-Strike not being executed on the side of FaZe, at least in my eyes.
I think Yanko's statement in the interview is it's going to be repeated a lot. Admittedly, we heard it on the desk before as well, but just this kind of acknowledgement that at the moment, yes, leadership is an issue.
Yeah.
In-game leadership is something that's sought after, but it's not going to be forced, I believe, was the words he used.
Things like Nico's trying his best, doing his utmost to make it a thing, like to become a leader, I guess. But obviously, it's oftentimes that's something you just have naturally.
What? No, you say that. There's been proof, certainly now in 2019, that it's a skill you can develop. We've seen multiple in-game leaders kind of forced into that position to some extent.
I do think that's also, but again, you could be a leader but not necessarily be aware of
I'm with you. So you're saying it's like a superpower.
Well, you're like a closeted leader in the sense that it's like hasn't been your forte maybe because when you came onto the scene, you were in again, you're a new leaf, right? You don't go in there and just be like, hey guys, listen to me. I'm the new kid on the block. Everything I say is law.
There's no absence of respect for Nico. I don't want to have to see a player like that with the burden of leadership.
Yeah, you want him to focus on himself and his crosshair.
Very aggressive. Look at this. Previously dedicated towards middle. And the nade by Nitro actually does a whole lot of damage. He is traded down to just 67 bullet, rogue bullet from boost.
Far up with mid as well.
Lining up. Keep your eyes on that one. I'll just keep highway covered. Enables him to push up. Can potentially push through. It keeps Elige guessing as he's flashed out. Great out.
Yeah, there's a bit of damage there. And he's one hit to add to the dink he received earlier. Rain, if he's going to tuck himself, is this going to be like a similar type to connector play where you on Mirage, right? Where you tuck yourself into a corner after taking connector with smokes? He's actually going to push out that
Good trades though, Adrian starting to purge in towards the ace site. You can see a fantastic presence from Squeaky. They just explode from 0 to 100. The site is there. The Nico, he's taken Olaf out. This is problematic. Now the numbers favor FaZe. Yes, the bomb's down, but Guardian has to be a hero. He has the angle, and they're coming from truck. This should be where the orb shines, but what do they have to throw at them? A flashbang. 2 kits available in North on Stewie. That's Nitro gone. The orb still stands. Guardian would be foolish to repeat. He's going to use every nade he has to try and delay this assault. The Molotov keeps him safe and sound. Now the smoke clears just in the nick of time. Guardian connects one left. Stewie, he hits the shot though, and he's surely not. He's going to hold this. He doesn't have a kit. He's put the smoke down. Guardian has to push. He has the AK now, puts the bullets into the smoke and saves the day. Stewie, I mean, it's the only play he had.
It really is. I mean, it might look silly, but yeah, if you want to win around, that's what you do.
Whew, sweaty palms though for Faze Clan.
Yeah, I mean,
who was it, Nico?
The DK from Nico onto Olafmeister puts them into man disadvantage. Luckily for Faze Clan in that scenario, Team Liquid don't have a Molotov to clear out Forklift, which is such a common thing for someone on B to hold on to that forever and ever, just in case you need to retake that A-bomb set, because it's so hard. I mean, we see how efficient Guardian is from that position when he's allowed to have wiggle room, right? Smoke's not that disruptive for him. Flashes he can deal with. It's just that Molotov that really would have ruined his day.
He threw one of his own down as well, just keeps his push safe. Now another round where things look promising for Faze Clan. Adrian's going to get caught off, switches to the Galil just in time, but there's two of them, Elige and Nitro. These two are inseparable, both in victory and defeat, and already the numbers kept level, admittedly. Weaponry not ideal. We've seen Nitro do crazy things, and he continues to do it. Nearly a warning shot towards his teammate. It was Elige now cowering towards Quad, worried what Nitro is thinking.
They're actually forcing the issue as well on the side of Faze.
You can't lose this round if you're Faze. This was supposed to be a freebie. It's made awkward.
Oh, yeah, really awkward. It's two weapons on the side of Liquid as well. AK Galil on the side of Nitro and Elige.
No Kev on those weapons.
That is true. Stewie, though, does have it, and he's the sole defender on that B bomb site.
Stewie has been twiddling his thumbs on this B site for 3-4 rounds now.
Yeah.
His patience may pay off.
Rain is tagged up pretty heavily as well.
Oh, and that's so effective. Elige through the molly. He doesn't have to pay too much of a price for it now. Rain is just jumping straight into the clutches of Stewie. They've fallen to a measly buy from Team Liquid. That's the 14th, and that hurts. Look at the money now from Faze Clan. They have just been sent back to poverty.
Poverty and beyond. Man, Nitro. Just finding that tiny gap in the smoke that also allowed for Elige to get out of dodge as well from Squeaky, because with that double commitment from them, like, great, they get a trade on it, or they find Adren, but they had no real escape path because they hadn't smoked off A-main while they did it. So actually being able to get out with actually just an extra kill to your name, really impressive from Liquid, and also equally disastrous for Faze. And who was that name going to be?
Oh, it hurts! It hurts so much. Naf's nade, his AUG, and more. Support from Stewie as well. The Molotov on Checker stops him going fast. He can't push through that smoke, certainly not when Naf's firing shots through it. And just like that, the B strike
has been halted. Cut in half, completely decimated. I don't even know what to do with your Faze in this situation. Pretty much everything you try to do has been shut down. Your mid control hasn't been working. Although it's like, it is fundamental errors that are happening that's allowing Liquid to get these opportunities, but that's not easy to realize in the heat of the moment. And I'm so surprised at the fact that we're not seeing timeouts.
Not a single one from Faze Clan.
And there's so much to talk about.
It is baffling. It's definitely something we'd love to know. Perhaps if Frankie can find an answer. Unlikely that Faze are going to be willing to give an interview, especially given the state of affairs for them now. This would be their second loss here at Blast Pro Sao Paulo.
And now again, they're running into a bit of a trap. Twist set up in quad.
Oh, Nitro, that Molotov is enough. They do clear the corner, but Liquid are hitting their shots. Just Nico and his Desert Eagle, an iconic combination. Just some damage done. There's a third there as well. Oh my god, he's done so much damage. Twist and Nitro, they're bleeding internally, but still keep hold of their weapons and keep hold of this game. A firm grasp now, 15, 1 round away, match point for the North American roster.
What I still can't believe is the fact that Rain is still topping the ADR charts.
He is?
Yeah.
That is
sitting at 92, and I'm pretty sure Elige was sitting at 90.
That's incredible.
Yeah, in an 8-15 loss. It just feels like nothing has gone the way of Faze. I mean, we can talk about, obviously, the errors they've made from a strategic point of view and how they've executed things that's been less than optimal, but, I mean, so many situations have gone in the favor of Liquid in terms of just finding that right time at that right moment to just send Faze into spiral.
Every time Faze start to posture towards B, Stewie has a friend.
Yeah.
Every time they're going towards A, Stewie plays it solo. Liquid have the read, and they have the frag. Naf with the first. Stewie shows his face in checkers. Now back's turned. He can get both of them here if they line up. No, pressure works. Looks like the wall bang, not far on. Oh, God! Guardian. He's down to just 20 points of health, but he has got an Org. He does have Kevlar, and he does have a Molotov. Naf, they know where he is. He'll be forced off by the flames, but from behind, they strike. Elige towards Vents. Nitro pushing fast in towards Headshot, and Olaf, he was obscured, and Nitro's got them both. It looks all over. It's all said and done. The defuse will come in, and Team Liquid have secured a win here in Sao Paulo.
That is wildly impressive by Liquid. Once again, we saw it yesterday versus NIP. We see it today versus Faze. They just look on